Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to discuss about solutions part 4 video. So before going to discuss about part 4 video, so what are the differences between Henry's law, Dalton's law and Raoult's law? Both are very close, but there is small difference. So you must carefully observe the differences between these three laws. So first of all, Henry's law. So you know that Henry's law is applicable to solubility of gases in liquids, like solubility of carbon dioxide in water or solubility of oxygen in water, like that. So applicable to gases in liquids. For example, carbon dioxide solubility in soft drinks. So Henry's law is applicable to solubility of gases in liquids. Dalton's law. You already well know that Dalton's law studied in first year states of matter. So Dalton's law is applicable to mixture of non-reacting gases. Mixture of non-reacting gases. That is gases in gas. Henry's law applicable to gases in gas. Applicable to mixture of non-reacting gases. Coming to Raoult's law. So Raoult's law is applicable to two binary systems. Applicable to two binary systems. One is liquid in liquid system. So both are miscible. Both the liquids are completely miscible and both the components are volatile liquids. Already we had discussed this Raoult's law. Applicable to liquids in liquids, both the liquids are miscible, like benzene, toluene, N-hexane and heptane, like that, and both are volatile liquids. Then apply to Raoult's law. And second system is solid in liquids. Second system is solid in liquid, but the solid is non-volatile solute. It must be non-volatile solute. Like sodium chloride, glucose. The solid must be non-volatile solute. Then only we can apply Raoult's law. So first major difference between these three is Henry's law is applicable to dissolution of gases in liquids. Dalton's law is applicable to mixture of non-reacting gases. Both the components are gases. And Raoult's law is applicable to two binary systems. One is liquid in liquids. Both the liquids are completely miscible. Completely miscible means completely soluble, and both the components must be volatile. Volatile means they can easily goes into vapor state. Volatile means they can easily goes into vapor state. And one more system is applicable to Raoult's law. The system is solids in liquids. The solid must be a non-volatile solute, like sodium chloride dissolved in water or glucose dissolved in water. Non-volatile solute dissolved in a suitable solvent. So these are the first major differences between Henry's law, Dalton's law and Raoult's law. And coming to statements, so the statement of Henry's law is solubility of gases in liquids is directly proportional to pressure. So very preliminary statement of Henry's law is the solubility of gases increases with increase of the pressure. Solubility of gases is directly proportional to pressure, which means that solubility of gases increases with increase of pressure. But the modified statement is partial pressure of gas in vapor phase. Partial pressure of gas in vapor phase is directly proportional to mole fraction of that gas in solution. Because the system is dissolution of gases in liquids. Therefore, here what I had taken the mole fraction of that gas in solution, liquid phase. So what is the statement? Partial pressure of partial pressure of gas in vapor phase is directly proportional to mole fraction of that gas in solution. So therefore P is directly proportional to X. P is equal to, for Henry's law, remove proportionality, we can introduce a constant which is known as Henry's law constant. Therefore P is equal to Kh into X. So this is the Henry's law. What is the proportionality constant here? Henry's constant. Henry's constant. So P is equal to Kh into X. This is the mathematical expression of Henry's law. The proportionality constant is Henry's law constant. And you very well know that what is the statement of Dalton's law? In a mixture of non-reacting gases, the partial pressure of gas is directly proportional to mole fraction of gas. In a mixture of non-reacting gases, partial pressure of gas is directly proportional to mole fraction of that gas. For example, a solution contains I components. A solution contains A plus B plus C extra I. So the partial pressure of gas, that is partial pressure of ith gas. For generalization, the partial pressure of gas. So the partial pressure of ith gas is directly proportional to mole fraction of ith gas. The partial pressure of gas is directly proportional to mole fraction of gas, because this is gas in gas. Gaseous mixture. That implies Pi is equal to P total into Xi. So here what is the proportionality constant? Total pressure. Total pressure is the proportionality constant. Total pressure is the proportionality constant. Pi is equal to total pressure into mole fraction of that gas. So this is the mathematical expression of Dalton's law. So coming to Raoult's law for 2 volatile liquids. Now here we have been discussed only liquid in liquid systems. Later in colligative properties we will discuss the Raoult's law for solid in liquids. So now let us discuss only liquid in liquid systems, Raoult's law. So for a binary solution containing 2 volatile liquids A and B, the 2 volatile liquids are A and B, then the statement of Raoult's law is both must be volatile. Volatile means easily escapable into gaseous phase or vapor phase. So for 2 volatile liquids, the partial vapor pressure of each component is directly proportional. The partial vapor pressure of each component is directly proportional to mole fraction of that component. Mole fraction of that component in solution. Mole fraction of that component in solution. So what is the statement for Raoult's law for 2 volatile liquids? The partial vapor pressure of each component is directly proportional to mole fraction of that component in solution. So that is, for example, component A. For component A, partial pressure of A is directly proportional to partial vapor pressure. Partial vapor pressure of A is directly proportional to PA is the mole fraction of A. For component A, partial vapor pressure of A is PA, mole fraction of A is XA. So PA is directly proportional to XA. That implies PA is equal to P naught A into XA. So here what is the proportionality constant? P naught A. P naught A means vapor pressure of pure solvent. Vapor pressure of pure solvent. So this is the mathematical expression of for liquid in liquid systems Raoult's law. PA is equal to P naught A into XA. Similarly, PB is equal to P naught B into XB. PB is equal to P naught B into XB. I think all you get clarified. So small difference is there. Applicable to Henry's law is applicable to gases in liquid systems. Dalton's law is applicable to mixture of non-reacting gases. Both the components are gases. Raoult's law is applicable to either liquid in liquid systems or solid in liquid systems. And one more difference is here in Henry's law, what is the proportionality constant? Henry's constant, Kh. P is equal to Kh into X. In Dalton's law, what is the proportionality constant? Total pressure. P total is the proportionality constant. And in Raoult's law, what is the proportionality constant? Vapor pressure of pure solvent. So these are the main differences between Henry's law, Raoult's law and Dalton's law. So let us discuss one more important topic in this video: ideal and non-ideal solutions. Ideal and non-ideal solutions. What are ideal solutions? So ideal solutions means the solutions which can obey Raoult's law. The solutions which can obey Raoult's law at all temperatures and all concentrations. So what are ideal solutions? Solutions which can obey Raoult's law at all concentrations and all temperatures. So what are ideal solutions? The solutions which can obey Raoult's law at all concentrations and all temperatures. You know, just now we had discussed what is the mathematical expression of Raoult's law, containing two binary components. PA is equal to P naught A into XA and PB is equal to P naught B into XB. Solutions containing two components A and B. Solution containing two volatile components A and D, both are liquids. Then Raoult's law is PA is equal to P naught A into XA, PB is equal to P naught B into XB. So therefore, ideal solutions means the solutions which can obey Raoult's law at all concentrations and at all temperatures. So what are non-ideal solutions? Just opposite to ideal solutions, which means that the solutions which does not obey Raoult's law. The solutions which does not obey Raoult's law at any concentration or temperature are known as non-ideal solutions, just opposite to ideal solutions, which does not obey Raoult's law, which means that Pa is not equal to P naught A into XB and PB is not equal to P naught B into XB. So does not obey Raoult's law. Pa is not equal to P naught A into XB, which means that they may be greater than or less than. They may be greater than or less than. So PB is not equal to P naught B into XB means PB is greater than P naught B into XB or PB is less than P naught B into XB. PB is greater than P naught B into XB or PB is less than P naught B into XB. So it is the major difference between ideal and non-ideal solutions. Ideal solutions means the solutions which can obey Raoult's law. Non-ideal solutions means the solutions which does not obey Raoult's law. And one more is, for ideal solutions, the enthalpy of mixing is 0, the volume of mixing is also 0. For ideal solutions, the enthalpy of mixing, what is the symbol of enthalpy? H. Change in enthalpy means delta H. Delta H mixing is equal to 0. Delta H mixing is equal to 0. And change in volume of mixing. delta V mixing is also 0 for ideal solutions. For non-ideal solutions, delta H mixing is not equal to 0 and delta V mixing and also not equal to 0. They may be greater than or less than. Delta H mixing is not equal to 0. Delta V mixing is also not equal to 0. So these are the two important differences between ideal and non-ideal solutions. Let us discuss more about the ideal solution. So let us discuss how ideal solutions are formed and what are the important characteristics of ideal solutions. Ideal solutions means the solutions which can obey Raoult's law at all concentrations and temperatures. At molecular level, for example, consider two binary components can form ideal solutions. Two binary components, for example, by adding methanol to ethanol, we get a ethanol-methanol solution. By adding methanol to ethanol, we get ethanol-methanol solution. It is an ideal solution. So why it is an ideal solution? For example, component A is ethanol, component B is methanol. So before forming ideal solution, in between ethanol molecules, before adding methanol to ethanol, in between ethanol and methanol molecules, there is hydrogen bonding is present. So that is component A, ethanol, C2H5OH. So these are AA interactions. Hydrogen bonding between ethanol molecules. Methanol, very similarly, BB interactions. Hydrogen bonding between methanol molecules. So these are hydrogen bonding between ethanol molecules and hydrogen bonding between methanol molecules. You know that what is hydrogen bonding? The electrostatic forces of attractions between hydrogen and most electronegative element. These are the electrostatic interactions. Hydrogen bonding is electrostatic interactions between hydrogen and most electronegative element. You know that oxygen is highly electronegative. The electronegativity on Pauling scale is 3.5 for oxygen. So these are hydrogen bonding. So before adding hydrogen bonding between ethanol molecules, that is AA interaction, we designated ethanol as this component as A, methanol as B. And between methanol molecules, these are the hydrogen bonding, that is BB interactions, AA interactions, BB interactions. After adding methanol to ethanol, we get ethanol-methanol solution. So ethanol-methanol, between ethanol and methanol also, this is ethanol, C2H5OH is ethanol, CH3OH is methanol. So between ethanol-methanol also, there is hydrogen bonding is present. Between ethanol and methanol also hydrogen bonding is present. So this is also hydrogen bonding. So after adding methanol to ethanol, there is hydrogen bonding between methanol molecules and ethanol molecules, that is AB interactions. Because ethanol component is designated as A, methanol component is designated as B. You can observe, is there any change in magnitude of hydrogen bonding? Is there any change in strength of hydrogen bonding after adding methanol to ethanol? Are you observe it? There is no change in magnitude or strength of hydrogen bonding after adding methanol to ethanol. So before adding, the strength of hydrogen bonding between ethanol and methanol. After adding, the strength of hydrogen bonding between methanol and ethanol same strength of hydrogen bonding. So same strength of hydrogen bonding before adding and after adding. So which means that those solutions, if there is no change in the magnitude of intermolecular forces of attractions, they can form ideal solutions. There is no change after adding one component to another component. If there is no change in strength of intermolecular forces of attractions, those can form ideal solutions. Here, after adding methanol to ethanol, there is new hydrogen bonding is there. Of course, there is new hydrogen bonding, that is between ethanol and methanol, but there is no strength difference between hydrogen bonding in reactants. And for example, if the hydrogen bonding here, energy is 10 kilojoule per mole, here 10 kilojoule per mole. After adding also, the hydrogen bond strength is 10 kilojoule per mole. Before adding, between AA and between BB is the hydrogen bonding strength is 10 kilojoule per mole. After adding ethanol to methanol, the same strength of hydrogen bonding is there. That is between ethanol and methanol also, what is the hydrogen bonding strength? 10 kilojoule per mole. So these type of solutions can form ideal solutions. There is no change in the strength of intermolecular forces of attractions like dipole-dipole interactions or hydrogen bonding or anything else. So here at molecular level, there is no change in magnitude of intermolecular forces of attractions. There is no change in magnitude of intermolecular forces of attractions. That is, intermolecular force of attraction between AA and BB is same as that of AB. The intermolecular forces of attractions between AA and BB is same as that of AB. Those type of components can only form ideal solutions. And another important characteristics of ideal solution are the change in enthalpy of mixing, that is heat change on mixing. Heat change on mixing, that is delta H mixing. The changing enthalpy of mixing. Enthalpy is denoted, according to thermodynamics, enthalpy is denoted by the symbol H. Change in enthalpy is delta H. So delta H mixing is 0 because there is no change in magnitude of hydrogen bonding strength, which means that there is no energy release or energy absorption during the formation of ideal solution. During the formation of ideal solution, no change in energy. No change in energy. Which means that there is no heat liberation or heat absorption. During the formation of ideal solution, there is no heat liberation or heat formation. The heat content of system is always measured in terms of enthalpy. According to thermodynamics, the heat contents of the system is measured in terms of enthalpy. Therefore, no change in energy. Therefore, the change in enthalpy of mixing is 0. And second one, volume of mixing. Delta V mixing is equal to V2 minus V1. Delta V mixing is equal to V2 minus V1. V2 is after mixing, V1 is before mixing. For example, here 100 ml of ethanol and 100 ml of methanol. If you can add 100 ml of methanol to 100 ml of ethanol for the formation of an ideal solution, we get the final volume. Ethanol methanol is 200 ml. So what is the volume before mixing? V1 is 200 ml. What is the volume before mixing? 200 ml. 100 ml of methanol is added to 100 ml of ethanol. So 100 plus 100, 200 ml. What is the volume after mixing? After mixing, what is the volume? 200 ml. Which means that 200 minus 200 is 0. So V1 is 200 ml. V2 is also 200 ml. Before mixing, volume is 200 ml. After mixing also there is no change in the volume. So 200. Because why there is no change in the volume? There is no change in the magnitude of intermolecular forces of attractions. Therefore, there is no change in the volume. So for ideal solutions, the change in volume of mixing is also 0. So these two are very important characteristics for ideal solutions, which can obey Raoult's law. Change in enthalpy of mixing, that is delta H mixing is equal to 0, and change in volume of mixing, delta V mixing is also 0, and there is no change in the magnitude of intermolecular forces of attractions before adding and after adding. So these four are very important characteristics of ideal solutions. So let us, what are the examples of ideal solutions? What are the important examples of ideal solutions? So examples are also very important. Take two non-polar components. Non-polar. If both are non-polar components, those can make an ideal solution. Both are non-polar. For example, benzene toluene. Benzene is non-polar, toluene is non-polar. These can form ideal solutions. So which type of systems can form ideal solutions? After adding one component to another component, there is no change in the magnitude of intermolecular forces of attractions. Those can only form ideal solutions. So benzene toluene, N-hexane and heptane. These are homologous. Generally, homologous series non-polar components can form ideal solutions. Benzene toluene differ by CH2 unit only. Homologous means differ by CH2 unit. So benzene toluene differ by CH2 unit. N-hexane and heptane differ by CH2 unit. These can form ideal solutions. And one more is, if both are polar can also form ideal solutions. For example, ethanol, methanol, alcohol mixtures, hydrocarbon mixtures. So hydrocarbon mixtures can form ideal solutions, and any alcohol mixtures can form ideal solutions, and alkyl halide mixtures C2H5bi plus C2H5Br. These alkyl halide mixtures can also form ideal solutions. Hydrocarbon mixtures, benzene is hydrocarbon, toluene is hydrocarbon, N-hexane is hydrocarbon, N-heptane is hydrocarbon. Hydrocarbon mixtures can form ideal solutions. And alcohol mixtures, any alcohol mixtures, methanol, ethanol, propanol, isopropyl alcohol. So these type of alcohol mixtures can also form ideal solutions. And alkyl halides mixtures, ethyl iodide, ethyl bromide, or any other. These type of mixtures can form ideal solutions, which can obey Raoult's law at all concentrations and temperatures. Let us discuss non-ideal solutions. Non-ideal solutions means the solutions which does not obey Raoult's law. Does not obey Raoult's law. Those are called non-ideal solutions. Non-ideal solutions are of two types. One is the solutions which can show positive deviation from Raoult's law. The solutions which can show positive deviation from Raoult's law. Second type. This is first type. Second type. The solutions which can show negative deviation from Raoult's law. So non-ideal solutions are of two types. Show positive deviation from Raoult's law, shows negative deviation from Raoult's law. First of all, we are going to discuss about non-ideal solutions which can show positive deviation from Raoult's law. Positive deviation from Raoult's law. So for this, you can consider adding cyclohexane to ethanol. Ethanol plus cyclohexane. These can form non-ideal solutions. Show positive deviation. Adding cyclohexane to ethanol. This is cyclohexane. Adding to ethanol can form a non-ideal solution which can show positive deviation. For example, this is component A and this is component B. Ethanol is component A, cyclohexane is component B. So before adding, cyclohexane to ethanol, just to forget about this, there is hydrogen bonding between ethanol molecules, between AA interaction. Hydrogen bonding is there. After adding cyclohexane to ethanol, what happens? After adding the cyclohexane to ethanol, what happens? Before adding, there is hydrogen bonding between ethanol molecules and non-polar interactions. Induced dipole interactions between cyclohexane molecules. Okay, individual interactions between AA and BB. BB interactions. AA interactions are hydrogen bonding, that is between ethanol molecules, between cyclohexane molecules, induced dipole interactions, that is intermolecular forces of attractions. After adding cyclohexane to ethanol, what happens? After adding cyclohexane to ethanol, what happens? The cyclohexane goes into space between the ethanol molecules. The cyclohexane goes into space between ethanol molecules. Cyclohexane goes into space between ethanol molecules and break down the hydrogen bonding. Cyclohexane goes into space between the ethanol molecules and break down hydrogen bonding. So which means that after adding cyclohexane to ethanol, formation of cyclohexane ethanol non-ideal solution. Cyclohexane ethanol non-ideal solution. So they can show positive deviation. What is the means of positive deviation? Before adding cyclohexane to ethanol, there is strong intermolecular forces of attractions. Between AA and BB. Before adding cyclohexane to ethanol, there is strong intermolecular forces of attraction between AA and BB. After adding cyclohexane to ethanol, what happens? Cyclohexane goes into space between ethanol molecules, break down hydrogen bonding, there is decrease in intermolecular forces of attractions. There is decrease in intermolecular forces of attraction, which means that escaping tendency of AB increases. Decreasing intermolecular forces means increasing escaping tendency. Intermolecular forces of attraction decreases, escaping tendency of AB in solution increases, thereby vapor pressure of solution increases. So you might remember that escaping tendency is directly proportional to vapor pressure, inversely proportional to forces of attractions, and inversely proportional to boiling point. Escaping tendency is directly proportional to vapor pressure, inversely proportional to forces of attraction, inversely proportional to boiling point. Escaping tendency. If greater will be the forces of attractions, lesser will be the escaping tendency, lower will be the vapor pressure of solution. But here there is a decrease in forces of attractions. After adding cyclohexane to ethanol, what happens? Hydrogen bonding breakdown, decrease in intermolecular forces of attractions, which means that escaping tendency of cyclohexane ethanol molecules in solution increases. If escaping tendency increases, vapor pressure of solution is also increases. So what is the meaning of positive deviation? What is the meaning of positive deviation? The meaning of positive deviation is vapor pressure of solution is more than vapor pressure that expected from Raoult's law. Here, after adding cyclohexane to ethanol, the vapor pressure of solution increases because decrease in intermolecular forces of attractions. The vapor pressure of solution increases. So what is positive deviation? The vapor pressure of solution is greater than the vapor pressure that is expected from Raoult's law. The vapor pressure of solution is greater than vapor pressure that expected from Raoult's law. Means that PA is greater than P naught A into XA, PB is greater than P naught B into XA. So PA is greater than P naught A into XA, PB is greater than P naught B into XB. This is the Raoult's law. These are the vapor pressure of solutions. So the vapor pressure of solution, if the vapor pressure of solution is greater than the vapor pressure that is expected from Raoult's law, those solutions can show positive deviation from Raoult's law. Those can show positive deviation from Raoult's law. And what about the enthalpy of mixing? Delta H mixing is greater than 0 or delta H mixing is positive. So blindly, if it is positive deviation, change in enthalpy of mixing is also positive. And change in volume of mixing is also positive. So blindly you can remember that if it is a positive deviation, delta H mixing is positive. If it is a negative deviation, delta H mixing is negative. So delta H mixing positive means delta H mixing is greater than 0, because here breaking of hydrogen bonding. After adding cyclohexane to ethanol, there is breakdown of hydrogen bonding. For breakdown of any bond, it requires energy. So energy is absorbed by the system. Energy is absorbed by the system for breakdown of hydrogen bonding. So this dissolution process is endothermic. Dissolution process is endothermic. This dissolution process is because breakdown of hydrogen bonding. So for breakdown, you know that requires some energy given to the system. Energy absorbed by the system. Energy absorbed by the system means endothermic reaction. So therefore, changing enthalpy of mixing is positive for endothermic reactions, or delta H mixing is greater than 0. Very similarly, delta V mixing is also positive, or delta V mixing is greater than 0. So for positive deviations, blindly PA is greater than P0 A into XB, PB is greater than P0 B into XB, delta H mixing is greater than 0 or delta H mixing positive, delta V mixing is also greater than 0 or delta V mixing is positive. So after adding cyclohexane to ethanol molecules, there is increase in volume, because the molecules, after adding, what happens, the intermolecular force of attraction decreases. Therefore, they are loosely bound, the molecules are loosely bound, thereby increasing the volume. What are the examples? So what are the examples of non-ideal solutions which can show positive deviation from Raoult's law? Very first one are alcohol plus hydrocarbon mixture. Any alcohol hydrocarbon mixture is an example of non-ideal solution which can show positive deviation from Raoult's law. That is ethanol plus cyclohexane or methanol plus N-hexane, any alcohol hydrocarbon mixture. And one more is acetone plus alcohol. Third one is acetone plus carbon disulfide. So these are the examples of non-ideal solutions which can show positive deviation from Raoult's law. Coming to negative deviation from Raoult's law. Positive deviation means the vapor pressure of solution is more than the vapor pressure expected from Raoult's law. Quite opposite to positive deviation. Negative deviation means the vapor pressure of solution is lower than the vapor pressure that is expected from Raoult's law. So those are positive deviation. So before going to that, take an example. So if chloroform, that is CHCl3, if chloroform is added to acetone, formation of a non-ideal solution, chloroform is added to acetone, form a non-ideal solution which can show negative deviation. So the chloroform is CHCl3. Acetone is CH3, C double bond. Before adding chloroform to acetone, there is simple dipole-dipole interactions or London forces. Between chloroform molecules, there is London forces. So simple intermolecular forces of attractions between AA and BB. After adding chloroform to acetone, so in between chloroform and acetone, there is strong hydrogen bonding formation. After adding chloroform to acetone, what happens? Formation of hydrogen bonding. Formation of hydrogen bonding between A and D, that is acetone and chloroform. Hydrogen bonding. You know that the strength of hydrogen bonding is more than that of intermolecular forces of attractions like dipole-dipole interactions, induced dipole-dipole or London forces or anything else. So after adding chloroform to acetone, what happens? The strength of intermolecular forces of attractions increases. That is hydrogen bonding formation, increasing intermolecular forces of attractions between AB. If forces of attraction increases, what happens? Escaping tendency of molecules decreases. Increasing intermolecular, because bond formation is there, hydrogen bonding formation. So therefore, increasing bond strength, decreasing forces of attractions. Increasing bond strength, increasing forces of attractions. If forces of attractions increases, escaping tendency of molecules decreases. If escaping tendency of molecules decreases, what happens? The vapor pressure. Both are directly proportional. So the vapor pressure of solution is also decreases. So the solutions which can show negative deviation from Raoult's law means the vapor pressure of solution is lower than that expected from Raoult's law. The vapor pressure of solution is lower than that expected from Raoult's law. That is, PA is less than P0 A into Xb. PB is less than P0 B into Xb. So the vapor pressure of solution is lower than the vapor pressure that expected from Raoult's law. So the AB interactions are more than that of AA and BB interactions. The AB interactions are greater than AA and BB interactions. It means that The vapor pressure of solution is lower than the vapor pressure expected from Raoult's law. So Pa is less than P naught A into Xa, Pb is less than P naught B into Xb. So what are the important characteristics of non-ideal solutions which can show negative deviation from Raoult's law? One is Pa is less than P naught A into Xa, Pb is less than P naught B into Xb. Second one, what is the enthalpy of mixing? Blindly, if it is the negative deviation, what is the enthalpy of mixing? It is also negative. Delta H mixing is equal to negative, or delta H mixing is less than 0. Delta H mixing is negative, that is the dissolution process is exothermic. After adding chloroform to acetone, there is a bond formation. Bond formation means release of energy. Release of energy means exothermic process. Exothermic. What is the volume of mixing? Delta V mixing. If it is a negative deviation, it is also negative. That is, delta V mixing is less than 0. Delta V mixing is also less than. For example, if you can add 100 ml of water to 100 ml of sulfuric acid, we get only 189 ml of sulfuric acid water mixture. If you can add 100 ml of water to 100 ml of sulfuric acid, we get 189 ml only. The remaining volume is, due to this is highly exothermic reaction, the remaining volume is evaporated. The remaining volume of water is evaporated because adding water to sulfuric acid, by adding acid to water is highly exothermic. The remaining volume of water is evaporated. So we get only 189 ml of water. That is 189 ml of sulfuric acid. V2 is 189. So delta V mixing is negative. So V2 minus V1. V2 minus V1. 189 minus 200. 189 minus 200 is minus 1100. So these type of mixtures can form non-ideal solutions which can show negative deviation. That is, delta V mixing is negative. After adding, the volume of the solution decreases. And the important examples are acetone plus chloroform can form non-ideal solution which can show negative deviation. Adding any acid to water, like sulfuric acid plus water, nitric acid plus water, like that. Adding any acid to water. Adding acid to water is highly exothermic. These type of mixtures can also form negative deviation from Raoult's law. And adding chloroform to ether. These can also form hydrogen bonding. Therefore, they can show negative deviation from Raoult's law. So these are important characteristics of non-ideal solutions which can show positive deviation and which can show negative deviation from Raoult's law.